This one is a kind of a fusion between geometry and algebra. I mean, it's really an algebra problem on the surface, and then it's a geometry because it's an application to a right triangle in the picture. So anyway, our two acute angles, by the way, that means those angles are going to measure less than 90, okay? And they're going to be positive something, but they're going to be less than 90 when the smoke clears. Also, we've got to find x in order to find out what those actual measures are, all right? And another key word, there's a right triangle going on, which means there's a 90-degree angle lurking. That's not acute, so that means a 90-degree and two acute angles. That's our situation. So let's take a look at this problem. Let's see what's going to happen on it, all right? Nice little picture drawn out for us, ready to go here. We have a right triangle. Now, again, because I have variables up here in 3x plus 11 and 4x minus 5, I don't know exactly what the degrees are going to be here. I might could look at that and get an idea and do some work in my head, but until we actually start working it out, I really don't know which of these is going to be my bigger one, all right? So just kind of taking it random here, I am going to put a 3x plus 11 right in there. We'll see. We'll find out if it works or doesn't. That looks a little bit larger than that one, but you know, as I said, we may have figured out from the standpoint the variables, since we don't know, and they're very close. They look very close to me. And let's put 4x minus 5 down here on this one. Now this one we know, well, there's no variable to this. This is 90 degrees, all right? So there's your 90-degree angle already. So as you remember, dear friends, from the Triangle Sum Theorem, or the Triangle Sum Property, and some of you, just a rule you learned back in 4th and 5th grade, oh, those angles have to add up to 180. No matter what kind of triangle we have to add up to 180. Now, I want you to notice something. My little 3x plus 11 there and my 4x minus 5, you know, they're kind of disjointed away from this 90. I've already used up 90 degrees. In other words, I know where 90 degrees is already hanging out. So here's my story. Here's my story. And I'm going to stick to this one, all right? We got measure of angle A that's going to add up with the measure of angle B, and it equals to 90. Those angles are complementary. That means they add up to 90 degrees. The acute angles of a right triangle will always be complementary. Because what we've done, we've lost 90 degrees of the 180, and that leaves me 90 to spread out over these two. Now, they could be even. They may be different. But remember, that's a plus 11 up there, and this is a minus down here. Let's plug and substitute, all right? Put our substitution in there. How about it? 3x plus 11. We're going to replace angle A with that measure, all right? We're just going to make an equation here. And how about taking out measure of angle B? Say goodbye to B, but bring in its alter ego here, so to speak, that 4x minus 5. And here we go. We're going to add up to 90 there, all right? A little algebra going on now. You've got the triangle. The triangle gave us the setup. Now it's all about good old algebra skills, all right? So let's get our like terms together. We've got a few here. We've got a 3x and 4x. It's going to give us 7x. So that takes care of that. We've also got 11 minus your 5. Now, folks, think about 11 minus 5. They're like terms also, and they're going to give us plus 6. And goodness sakes, we've got equal to 90 degrees out there, all right? So there's our expression. At this point, what we need to do is get x by itself. You know the drill. This looks like pre-algebra now, doesn't it? Everybody is good on it, I hope. We're going to subtract the 6 from the left side because it's not helping me there. And if I subtract it from the left, I'm going to need to subtract on the right. Good old subtraction property equality coming to rule for us there, all right? We got a 7x to the left now, and I have this 90 minus 6, which I can figure out on the right. It's going to give us 84. It's going to give us 84. At this point, we need to divide 7 into 84. Know your times tables. That's one of your 12s right there, because 12 times 7 gives us 84. So our x value on this problem is going to equal 12. Now, some of you get really excited, say, we're done, we're done, we're done, we're done. No, we're not, because what is the question asking for? Find the measures of both angles. And that's referring to the acute angles, because we already know the measure of the right angle, all right? So let's take a look at these two values. So let's go back here. Let's look at 3x plus your 11, and let's look at 4x minus 5. And we're going to replace 12 in both of those. Now, dear friends, these are not congruent angles. Well, they might be, but they're not supposed to be. I mean, we didn't say that in our stipulation here. We just say they're going to add up to 90. So that's what we want to check for in the end. So some of you get real excited and say, oh yeah, they're going to both equal like the same number, maybe 45. Well, it could happen, but that is not necessarily going to happen. So let's see what we do. Let's put in 3 times 12. Never assume, they say, all right? Don't do that, all right? And we got 3 times 12, which is 36. Adding 11 to that, we have 47. So it didn't come out even there, did it? It came out 40, instead of 45 and 45, it looks like it's 47 and something. Let's check our other angle out. Put in our 4 times 12, and then we are going to subtract our 5, all right? So 4 times 12 is going to give you 48. You're going to subtract the 3, and that's going to go, how about subtract to 5? I'm about to jump back to where I wanted to get a 45 there. Not right. We want to get a 43 right off of there. And if you know something about these two angles, they give you 90 together. Add that 90 there, you're back to 180, and your problem is solved. So again, right triangles, 90 degrees, the key thing there, because of the right angle working for you. And then these other two angles, complementary, add them up to give you 90. And again, one more thing, x equals 12 is not an angle, all right? It's just a number that's going to help you get to the angle measures. And once you do that, then you get your real good stuff there. 47, 43, 90, life is good.
For more math help, visit tnlearn.org.